Football Terrace once again. Another big update in relating to Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. According to the Telegraph's James Ducker, again another one of the what I call the British credibles, one of the British tier 1 journalists for a massive newspaper, has said Man United have now had a breakthrough in relation to personal terms and agent fees. Still, in his opinion, no direct agreement with Borussia Dortmund over a fee, but it begs a question. If there is no room for manoeuvre, if Man United and Dortmund have no way of finding a resolution, if as many people keep telling me that this deal is dead, why would Man United today or in the past 24 hours, according to James Ducker, have made inroads, agreed agent fees and agreed personal terms? No one quite knows the ultimate truth of this, around exactly what's going on, in what direction, who's being given the best, the most reliable information. The one thing for me that is absolutely abundantly clear throughout all of this, whether you're listening to Jan Fjortoft, whether you're listening to Fabrizio Romano, whether you're listening to James Ducker or Duncan Castles, one consistent theme continues to crop up in relation to Jadon Sancho to Man United, and that is that the deal is certainly not dead. I believe Man United still think it can happen. Clearly, Jadon Sancho is interested in joining Manchester United. The deadline was set at nearly a month ago, and reportedly today, as I say, from a British credible, a British tier 1 journalist, supposedly have agreed personal terms and agent fees. What would be the point of the agent thrashing out a deal with Manchester United to get these fees agreed if there was going to be no deal at the end of it, if the deal indeed was dead at Dortmund's end? It's another, as I say, we're here as a channel to deliver the news to you as and when it breaks on social media and across the mainstream media, to give you a view and an opinion. Yesterday, Duncan Castle states that he believes Man United are in a very comfortable position. They feel that a deal, they have an agreement with Borussia Dortmund. That's a slightly different turn of events to what James Ducker has said today. However, we know intermediaries have been involved. Maybe the information that Duncan Castles was given is via the intermediary and not directly with Borussia Dortmund themselves. And I think 80% of the story that we're getting through various people and various outlets, I think there's a lot of semantics at play here. I really, really do. Someone here says the deal is not agreed. Stop clickbaiting. Well, listen, Michael, go take that up with James Ducker, who he himself has published information in the last 15 to 20 minutes that Man United have agreed a deal with Jadon Sancho and agreed a deal and terms with the agent of Jadon Sancho. And that mirrors up a lot with what Fabrizio Romano has said. It mirrors up a lot with what the likes of Christian Falk have said. But still, United need to get their official bid in. And let me tell you this now. Man United might be dragged over the coals for having been run poorly for the past 4 or 5 years, but there is not a cat's chance in hell that we would spend a month negotiating with Jadon Sancho and agreeing personal terms. Whether we did it today, or whether we agreed it a week ago, 3 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, if we weren't prepared to put a bid in, we still wouldn't be having conversations with Jadon Sancho if we weren't looking to get this deal done. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. As far as I'm concerned, I think an official bid is going to go in the next few days. I think by the 14th, maybe the 15th, maybe even the 16th of September. It's a personal feeling that the deal may go through. But the one thing I would say to everybody else when it comes down to it is this: this deal isn't dead. Do me a favour and smash that like button. We're going to go through some of your live comments now, see what you're thinking and feeling. Michael here says, but is it that the player will know months ago that the deal is not agreed. But this is the thing. But the player, if the player and his agent know, because they've been told by Dortmund and or by Man United that the deal isn't going to happen, they wouldn't sit around the table and negotiate terms with one another. That would make no sense. So even the likes of Fabrizio, who has been saying this, Fabrizio tweeted 3 minutes ago, confirms personal terms and agent fees. So Fabrizio, who is regarded as the most credible journalist out there when it comes to transfers, what would be the point? What would be the point of Man United pursuing this if there was going to be no deal at the end of it? The deal has to still be alive, and that is what we have been pushing this whole time. It's as simple and it's straightforward as that. And a lot of people say, but it's only personal terms. But remember, the agent, forget the player, forget Man United, the agent isn't going to waste his time talking to Man United if there wasn't a strong possibility that a deal could be completed. It just doesn't happen. Imagine you're a salesperson and you spend a month negotiating terms with a business that you're never going to do a business deal with. Think about it logically. It makes absolutely zero sense whatsoever. The deal is still on. Terry, this is the breakthrough media part. The next thing is the official announcement. The whole thing is already done. That's what Anderson believes. And listen, that's what the likes of In The Know _ PL have said. You know, maybe this is all part and parcel of it. Maybe whether it's done directly or indirectly, I think there's an element here of the media saying, right, how can we spin and pull this story out longer than it has to be protrude for? And look, for me, I felt it would always happen. I understand, you know, something that was said I read a few weeks ago stood out to me more than anything, that the deal's done, that the deal's agreed in principle. The clubs are going to go away and get their own business done elsewhere. They're going to keep it on ice for a few weeks. Jadon Sancho, I think yesterday's theory rings true, that Jadon Sancho wants to get his bonuses. His agent wants to get his bonuses, as an example. I think all of that holds an element of truth here. And what's been happened is that rival fans are the ones who have kept this alive. Let me tell you that. Rival fans continuing to banter have kept the news alive, because even 4 or 5 weeks ago, when Borussia Dortmund themselves said that it's past the deadline and it isn't going to move forward, every single credible journalist just said, well, United just need to pay the asking price and it will happen. That should have been the end of the story until United make the bid. But because there was this propensity for, is there an update, ha ha ha, it's dead, the journalists have come out and kept the story alive with no, personal terms are agreed, we're waiting for a bid. No, personal terms are agreed, we're waiting for a bid. There's been some variations to that story, and maybe there are little nuances that needed to be addressed, but this story has not really changed very much in the last few weeks. Most people of a credible level believe it's still alive, and it's certainly just been confirmed as that. Super chat here from Josh says, the constant justification people require is a madness. Patience is dead to some. It's in everyone's interest to get everything right. You're absolutely correct in relation to that. But do me a big favor, everybody that's tuning in, please hit the like button. Nearly 1,600 people tuning in live. I am just in the middle of a gym session as well. I thought I'd take a little break to come do this. We are live as well tonight, 7 p.m. Make sure you're tuning in. The first of our 2-part Premier League preview shows. We're talking Liverpool, we're talking Man City, we're talking Tottenham. So make sure you are tuning in. Jem here says, this deal just needs to happen, snoring at this now. Well, Jem, the thing is, bro, if people stopped, if there weren't so many lies that had been printed, my channel alone would have done maybe 10 less videos on Jadon Sancho. Actually go back, right, and look at 90% of what we've said. We've literally come out so many times and said, well, we're not going to change anything. We've literally come out like, we're not going to change our opinion. The deal is still alive. Nothing has dramatically changed. And we've continued to say that. We've continued to repeat that based on what the most credible journalists, both domestically and internationally, have been saying. It's as simple as that. Someone says, what has Sancho done to deserve this hype? That's a really great question, Phil Taylor, and I'll answer that for you. No teenager in the history of the top 4 leagues in Europe, from making their debut up until this point, so from his debut as a teenager until turning 20, has scored and created as many goals as him. No teenager making their debut in a top 5 league has, and I'm talking like elite level of the game, has this many goal contributions in their opening 2 seasons ever in the history of football. That is what he has done to generate this level of hype. He has almost 100% goal contributions to game ratio since making his debut as a teenager. It's never happened before. That's it. Never, ever. And someone here says Farmers League. You're just talking about Bayern Munich are in that league, who have just gone and done the treble. Is that who you're talking about? The team that just won and won the European Cup? Cool. I'm glad that's who you're talking about, bro. I'm glad that's who you're talking about, but well done. It's not going to wash here. No, not going to wash at all. He goes, you are the only one who keeps this story alive. It's not going to happen. Bro, every time you say it's not going to happen, we keep the story alive. Because what we don't want to... Listen, we're not a news outlet. You can call us alternative media if you want, but we're fan media, essentially, is what we are. And every time we hear lies spouted... Remember, throughout lockdown, every other day, there was a Jadon Sancho update. There's a snag, there's a problem, there's a boost. What did we say in every video? Nothing's changed. Nothing will happen until the end of Borussia Dortmund's challenge for their title. And nothing ever did change. And even since the deadline period, there's that 3-week period... Our message has been very, very consistent since that point. Nothing has changed. It's as simple and it is as straightforward as that. I know it's not good for the haters. I know it's not good for people that dislike Manchester United to hear this, but nothing has changed. James Ducker, let me repeat, has just confirmed Man United have made a breakthrough, confirmed that salary, wages, bonuses and agents elements are all being agreed, but a deal still needs to be officially put through. That, in conjunction with Duncan Castles, has said that Man United believe they have a deal ready to go, or they have an agreement, whether that be directly with Dortmund or indirectly through the intermediaries. And listen to the European credibles, the Jan Fjortovs, the Fabrizio Romanos and the Christian Falks, if Man United bid the asking price, which everybody knows they're going to do, £120 million in one way, shape or form. Some of that will be add-ons, some of it will be instalments, some of it will be lump sums. Man United will and are going to sign Jadon Sancho. And just think about the logic for one little moment. One little moment, think about the logic here. If James Ducker is even 60, 70% right, why would the agents sit down with Man United and agree terms, agree compensations, if no real deal could happen? They wouldn't waste Sancho's time. They wouldn't waste their own time. Man United wouldn't waste their time. It simply wouldn't happen. So rivals, suck it up. Suck it up and deal with it. You know, why lie? Stop crying. Do you know what I mean? So what is it? Why lie? Just cry is what I should be saying. But there we go. If you're gonna hate, just leave. Someone here says Kai Havertz had 18 goals and 9 assists. Sancho had 20 goals and 20 assists. Who is overhyped? But that's my point. Like, Kai Havertz is amazing. His ability is amazing. His output is sensational. Jadon Sancho has gone beyond that. And Jadon Sancho has done things in the Bundesliga that no other debutant teenager has ever done. He has done something in European football that no debutant teenager, since records begun, because I don't know what happened in, assists weren't counted in the 40s and 50s. I'm talking since records begun. Let's say the last 30 years then, 40 years, 50 years. No teenager in European elite leagues has ever done what Jadon Sancho has. Facts. That's why there's hype. That is why there's hype. And if you can't understand that, then football isn't for you, bro. Trust me, he's the best teenager to come out of England since Wayne Rooney, and he's the best. He's probably the second best teenager of the last 20 years to come out of Europe. Maybe less than that because you got to count Ronaldo. So after Ronaldo, it was Mbappe, and then you probably got Sancho. That's the level we're talking about here. Terry, the tweets I have already for the rivals if Sancho signs. Yes, I'm glad. I've got tweets ready. I've got videos ready. Everything. Elite KJ, my guy here, says we're in the end game now. Avengers. We are, bro. We are in the end game now, and it's the home straight. And do you know who is interesting as well? Do you remember I tweeted James Ducker a few weeks ago asking for some information? A lot of the information that he didn't come back to me, but a lot of the information that's been coming out in the last 3 or 4 days is exactly what was sent through to me in a direct message nearly 2 weeks ago. And that's why, as I've started to see that information transpire, and if the structure of the payments are relatively close to what I was told, then the person who's giving me that information knows something. Because they cannot have guessed all these stages unless they've got a DeLorean. And if you're too young to know what a DeLorean is, it was the time machine in Back to the Future. Stu here says, I welcome Sancho's arrival as it will mean you have some fresh content. Content's always fresh. Cameron here says, bruv, I'll be on the first plane that I can safely to come watch that front four up close. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to arrange like a Football Terrace, United Football Terrace day at Old Trafford. That'll be an absolute buzzy, mate. We'll do like we'll do a game and then a night in Manchester. That'd be good fun. Check out Scott. Okay, I'm not worried about that thing for now. Billy T here. Billy T, long time, bro. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. How credible is James Ducker? James Ducker is very credible to me. I put him as a tier 1 journalist. He works for the Telegraph, which is a very respectable newspaper, both from a general publication, a news outlet, and of course from a football point of view. Chris here says, love the content. No, I appreciate that, bro. He says, Paul Greenwood will get the chop. No. Greenwood is going to be developed nice and slowly. Greenwood will be a leading player at Man United over the next 12 to 18 months. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. By the way, smash that like button, please, ladies and gentlemen. Comment here from Saj says, so close you can touch it, yet so far it's about to come down. Honestly, when the Sancho news breaks, the internet will break. Plus, I think Apple and Samsung are going to make so much money. The amount of rivals that are going to smash their phones on the floor, throw their phones in the bath, kick their phones against the wall, it's going to be amazing. The hatred, the bile, the annoyance is going to come spewing out. Just go back and look at all our content on Sancho. The amount of rivals saying it's not going to happen. And this is what happens when you delude yourself. When you delude yourself and you set unrealistic expectations, it only ever makes you angry. Have you noticed that when every single big player that Chelsea got linked with this summer, have you noticed my reaction to it? Well done, Chelsea. Congratulations. Big player, quality player. Why? Because if it doesn't happen, it's like, phew. If it does happen, I've almost come to terms with how good those players are. It leads to less anger, it leads to less stress. Do you know what I mean? If I'd done that when I was younger, maybe I'd still have hair. It's as simple as that for me. Jem here says, no annoyance from our side, bro. Still gonna slap United up. Yeah, but Jem, you're different, bro. You're part of the inner sanctum now of the Football Terrace, and we know there's no anger from your end. But there's a lot of Chelsea fans that are angry about it, bro. Some right weirdos. But those are the same people that are calling your own club liars over the Sancho, the Havertz record signing. So less said about them, the better, probably. Let's do one more comment here. Simon here says, it's so close you can print the shirts Sancho number 7. Yeah, do you know what, Simon? I won't go that far, just in case something falls through last minute. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll, of course, be here, ready to go live straight away for you. And when it does happen, I'm stealing this from Monster. Hashtag pray for our rivals. Listen, until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. God bless, and I'll see you all soon.